Chapter 10. Operations Management, Productivity, and Quality. This chapter focuses on operations management, productivity, and quality in both the manufacturing and service sectors. It is organized into two major parts. The first part explains the meaning of the term operations and describes the various kinds of utility that operations processes provide. It describes how companies with different business strategies are best served by having different operations capabilities, and identifies the major factors that are considered in operations planning. The activities that are necessary for effective operations scheduling and controlling are also noted. The second part of the chapter focuses on the management of productivity and quality, and the activities that are necessary to achieve high levels in both these areas. The importance of a supply chain strategy is also noted, and how it differs from traditional strategies for coordinating operations among companies. The learning objective of today's lesson is that at the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the meaning of the term production, or operations, and describe the four kinds of utility it provides. Identify the characteristics that distinguish service operations from goods production and explain the main differences in the service focus. Describe the two types of operations processes. Describe the factors involved in operations planning and operations control. You will also be able to explain the connection between productivity and quality. Understand the concept of total quality management and describe 9 tools that companies can use to achieve it. Explain how a supply chain strategy differs from traditional strategies for coordinating operations among businesses. Creating value through operations. There are many different types of production management. Operations management is a set of methods and technologies used in the production of a good or a service. Service operations is the production activities that yield tangible and intangible service products. Goods production is the production activities that yield tangible products. Production makes possible 4 types of utility: time, place, ownership, and form utility. Production managers are responsible for creating utility through production, operations, management. Time utility is when the product is available. Place utility is where the product is available. Ownership utility is consumption or use of product. Form utility is the product's form. Differences between service and manufacturing operations. Different raw materials are needed when producing a tangible good versus providing an intangible service. Services are performed, goods are produced. 1. Interacting with customers. Manufacturing operations emphasize the production of physical goods, but service operations are really combinations of goods and services. Manufacturing operations focus on the outcome, while services must focus on both the transformation process and its outcome. For example, making and delivering a pizza. 2. Intangibility and unstability. These two features set services apart from physical goods. 3. The customer's presence in the operations process. The customer is often present in the operations process of service organizations, for example, getting a haircut. 4. Service quality considerations. Customers use different measures to judge services and goods because services include intangibles, not just physical products. Operations processes. A set of methods and technologies used in the production of a good or a service. We can describe goods according to the kind of transformation technology they require or services according to the extent of customer contact required. Goods producing processes. Operations processes in manufacturing can be classified based on the kind of transformation technology that is used, or whether the operations process combines resources or breaks them down. A. Types of transformation technologies. These can be chemical, fabrication, assembly, transport or clerical. In chemical processes, raw materials are chemically altered. Such techniques are common in the aluminum, steel, fertilizer, petroleum, and paint industries. Fabrication processes mechanically alter the basic shape or form of a product. Fabrication occurs in the metal forming, woodworking, and textile industries. Assembly processes put together various components. These techniques are common in the electronics, appliance, and automotive industries. In transport processes, goods acquire place utility by being moved from one location to another. For example, bicycles are routinely moved from manufacturing plants to consumers by truck and through warehouses and discount stores. Clerical processes transform information. Combining data on employee absences and machine breakdowns into a productivity report is a clerical process. So is compiling inventory reports at a retail outlet. Analytic versus synthetic processes. An analytic process breaks down basic resources into components, while a synthetic process combines raw materials to produce a finished product. Service-producing processes. Services are classified according to the extent of customer contact. In high-contact processes, the customer must be physically in the system, for example, transit systems. In low-contact processes, services can be provided to the customer without the customer being physically present, for example, lawn care service. Business strategy as the driver of operations. There is no one standard way of doing production. Rather, the strategy of the business influences the way production is done. Successful firms design their operations to support the company's business strategy. Over time, excellent firms achieve more than just one competence. For example, FedEx is noted for dependability, world-class service, and cost containment. Operations planning. Managers develop the firm's long-range production plan by forecasting future demand. The long-range production plan details plants, technology, labor, machinery, and transportation and storage facilities that will be needed in the upcoming 2 to 5 years. Successful operations are carefully planned and implemented in these areas: capacity, quality, location, layout and methods planning. Quality planning. This affects all other aspects of planning and has become of great importance to Canadian businesses. Location planning. Facility location and layout are crucial decisions. Factors to be considered in choosing a location are noted. Location planning for producing goods. Many factors must be taken into consideration, including proximity to raw materials and markets, availability of labor, energy and transportation cost, etc. Location planning for producing services. Low-contact service companies have some options, but high-contact companies must be close to the customer. Methods planning. This involves the identification of every step in the production process and the specific methods that are used at each step. This diagram maps out the key planning process from business plan and forecasts to output to customers. Capacity planning. This involves planning the amount of a good that a firm can produce under normal working conditions. Capacity planning for producing goods means making sure the firm's capacity slightly exceeds the normal demand for its product. Capacity planning for producing services. In low-contact processes, managers can set capacity at the level of average demand, but in high-contact processes, manager must plan capacity to meet peak demand. Layout planning. Once a location has been selected, managers must decide on plant layout. 1. Process layouts. In process layouts, equipment and people are grouped together according to function, for example, a job shop or custom manufacturing operation. 2. Product layouts. In this type, resources move through a fixed sequence of steps to become finished goods, for example, mass production operations where an assembly line is used. 3. Fixed position layout. In fixed position layouts, the product or customer remains at one location and equipment, materials, and human skills are moved to that location as needed. Other developments in layout flexibility. In flexible manufacturing systems, FMSs, a single factory can produce a wide variety of products. Soft manufacturing means reducing huge FMS operations to smaller, more manageable groups of machines. The movable factory is popular in developing countries. Used equipment from industrialized countries is purchased that is still relatively modern and then used to produce new and untested products in their own country.